Hey, welcome back here to the Central PA Pour. I am Brett.
And I'm Dave.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
You're not Kevin.
I'm not Kevin.
Where the hell is Kevin?
Out traveling again, running around in his rental car.
You know what? We're going to have to come up with a fucking game. Instead of find Waldo, we'll find Kevin.
Yeah. Trouble is, there wouldn't be much of an interest.
Stay lost and good riddance, right? No, we're missing Kevin here. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe wherever you get your podcast on your audio platforms at YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, social media, wherever you get it. Help us out, man. We're enjoying doing this, and we can't do it without you guys. So we're hoping we bring you guys good content, just help us spread the word. We got some great guests in here, and as you can see, we're in short sleeve shirts finally.
Yeah, finally.
And it's not raining yet. Right now.
Yeah. You jinxed it. There it is. I can hear it now.
We're into the summer months here as we're doing this, and we have some wonderful guests in here. We can't wait to bring them in here. Matt and Susan, welcome to the Central PA Pour.
Thank you.
Welcome. We are happy to be here.
Desperate Times Brewery, Carlisle.
Correct. Right by the fairgrounds.
So you have all the car shows that are up there.
We do, and yes, it gets busy.
So tell us a little bit about Desperate Times Brewery. What brought this on? What was the idea behind it?
Well, we can tell you where the name came from. We had just met in 2008 in February. I got laid off from my job in April because it was in 2008. Like I mentioned, I was doing land development. And when the recession hit, I got laid off.
Oh, my.
So we ended up getting married pretty quick. And then the only job I could find was in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Wow.
So we moved from Tampa over to Little Rock, Arkansas, where we had our first child. And then they transferred me to the Harrisburg office, and we had our second child. So within 3 years of knowing each other, we lived in 3 states, had 2 kids,
World traveling.
pretty much switched careers, and then decided to open a brewery. So we figured Desperate Times was a good name for that.
What were you doing before?
Land development and civil engineering.
So you were an engineer.
Correct.
Oh, why not? Let's just start a freaking brewery.
Yes. While we were living in Little Rock, we one of her flight attendant friends, they actually owned Diamond Bear Brewing.
Okay.
So it was, at the time, it was the only craft brewery in Arkansas. So we were always talking to them, and that kind of piqued the interest. So he would always wonder why I'd ask them such detailed questions about everything. He's like, "Why are you asking me that?" "Oh, no reason."
So did you start with like a home brew thing, or did they kind of take you under your wing and kind of bring you into this industry?
More started with the home brewing kit I got for Christmas.
Yes, I just got him one for Christmas, and it went from there. I was a flight attendant for 25 years, and he was just interested in it. I guess he said since college.
Yeah, my brother had been homebrewing for 20-some
Oh,
years.
wow. So you've
I
had a
finally
taste of
dipped
this
in,
for
yes.
quite some time. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That's how my wife, she got me a beer kit one year, so kind of created a monster. Don't
Yes.
worry, I'm not opening a brewery. No. We've joked about it.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
But yeah,
We
no,
don't
I'm not opening a brewery. I got too much other stuff on my plate.
You come spend a day with us.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
We'd love to.
We'd love to.
In the back in the brew house with no air conditioning in the summer. Gets over 100 degrees back there. So come on.
When you got the hot liquor tank running, the
That's
mash
right.
running, and then the boil
The
kettle.
yeah,
and-
it's
yeah.
boiling. And
So you came to Harrisburg because of your job
correct.
and decided to let's get into a brewery. How did you find a spot? Now my wife's from Carlisle, and I can't remember if she remembered if that was a car dealership or what was your building.
It was a John Deere sales
Oh.
and service center.
It had because you could see you can see it was like a display floor there in the front.
Correct. I think
Yes.
it opened up in 1950.
I believe
what they
so.
told us, yeah.
The Gutchalls, they still come visit us all the time that owned it. But that was not our original location that we were
Oh, it was not.
picking.
Okay.
It was the Tyco building.
Okay.
And then the person that was going to purchase that building, he pulled out. So we stuck with him for 2 years while he was trying to buy that building. And then the night before closing, he just pulled out. And since we were with him for so long, he felt so bad. So he called up Carlisle Events and asked them if they knew of anybody. And there we were.
Yeah, you got it is a prime spot, especially during the summer when you
Yes.
got all the car events coming in. Does it keep you guys packed
It does.
with the car events there?
Obviously, some car shows are a lot busier than others. Some are early crowds, some are late crowds, but
And I'm hoping they take full advantage of you guys. So it's a great spot. My wife and I were just up there not long ago, and we got to actually talk. And here we are. Got you guys in studio. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I've been after you I've had your beer for quite some time. I've visited a few times up there when I get up to Carlisle. And I'm glad you guys said yes. So we're here to find some more out about Desperate Times. Now, we're looking over your website.
Yeah.
You got some award-winning stuff going on. I mean, going back to 2016, 17, is that when your first awards?
yes, we opened in 2016. We won at Great American Beer Fest in 2017.
Wow. And that's a big fest, isn't it? The Great American Beer Fest.
It's one of the probably is the world's largest craft beer fest, and it's one of the biggest competitions. Yes.
Yes. And the funny thing is we went out for it, never thinking we were going to win. And we had heard that the awards come out around 2:00 in the afternoon. And we were just so busy since we had just opened in November. And we were just going to go back over to the convention center and go drink some more and see who all won. And he's in our hotel room watching what sports? I think March Madness, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
'cause
Something like
that's,
that. It was some type of sport. And I was down the street shopping. And then we go over to the convention center, and all of a sudden my phone starts dinging away. And that's how we found out we won.
Oh, that's awesome.
Some of our followers on Facebook were congratulating us.
And you didn't even know it.
And we
We
skipped
didn't
the
even
award
know.
ceremony 'cause
We
we were
never
like,
even
"No."
went to the award ceremony.
Wow.
I tell you what, that's one of those moments that you're like, damn, pat yourself on the back.
It was
Yeah.
a surprise for sure.
It was
But
crazy.
that's even the best when you don't think you're going to do it.
Yeah,
And
'cause
all
that was
of a
our first time we ever brewed a Schwartz beer. That was our first batch.
So that it was the Schwartz beer. So you went from homebrew kit. Now, was this an all grain kit, or was this just something like we started with, like the malt extracts and stuff, and doing it on the stovetop?
Correct. It was some grains and mostly extract.
And then
On the stove.
You took that next leap and started making your own.
Correct. And went to the all grain. And he said, bought a turkey fryer and drilled a hole in the side of the pot and put the valve in there and turned the cooler into a mash tun.
Did you have any help getting to that point, like understanding what greens and putting your recipes together, or it was just wing it and see what happens?
Well, that and my brother had done it for a long time.
Okay, so yeah, your brother did it, so he
I
had
did
some
that.
experience.
And I got a bunch of books and started reading them and kind of figuring out the styles and recipes and all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I like that.
Well, we do have a beer sitting in front of us. And I when you said what you brought, I was hoping you'd bring this one. And I think I've had it before. I just don't remember, but I'm always intrigued. So tell us a little bit about what our first beer is going to be.
This is going to be one of our flagship beers. It's Desperate Measures Red IPA. It was supposed to be ready when we first opened, but we had a consultant from Montana come out and just to help us get off on the right foot. So we were brewing this beer, the red IPA, but he was in hectoliters. We were in barrels, so everything kind of got messed up.
Yeah.
And I was like, we cannot make this Desperate Measures because it's going to be so different next time. People will be like, what are you guys doing? I'm starting off. So it ended up being a false spice for the first time, and people like that so much we still carry it. We carry it to every year now in the fall.
Yeah, we couldn't. I mean, what were we going to do? We didn't want to dump that whole batch of beer down the drain. So we pulled out a book and started looking up different spices, and that's how Fall Spice came about.
Yes.
We've heard about other brewers talk about that. You know, one beer didn't come out the way they wanted it, but they turned it into completely something different in itself.
Ends up being popular, and you have to keep it around now.
And remember what you did.
Exactly. But yes, this red IPA, after that one, we actually got it to work. And I've always liked the red IPAs because Sierra Nevada Flipside, I don't know if you've ever had that one.
I don't think I have had that one.
That was a red IPA I always liked it's been a while since I've had it, but I was like, I would like to do that one day. And just the red IPA, no, but not a lot of people have them.
Yeah, I was
So
going to
it's
say,
kinda
because I mean, you get a lot of IPAs, hazies, West Coast or whatever, but this is like a nice amber pale ale, really, and that's basically what you're after, right?
Yes, and then you have the crystal malts in there, so it gives it the caramel flavor, a little sweetness to the IPA part to help balance the bitterness in there. So,
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
To Desperate Measures.
red IPA, good stuff.
Oh, wow. That's delicious.
That is
Still
an
get
IPA.
Hop characteristics to it.
Yes.
It has a little hop note to it. The aroma's not bad. The color's awesome, and the palate is it's like a smooth maltiness to that palate. Great job.
For some reason, I've been drinking this one more than any of them at the moment.
And when we started this venture, and we've mentioned it countless times, that none of us were IPA guys. None of us. But as we ventured into this realm, our palates have opened, all except Dave's. Dave loves sours and IPAs. But there'll be nights I'll come home like, you know what, I don't want a heavy beer tonight or something dark. I want something light. And I'll either grab a sour or an IPA and drink that. But this is absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I did tell a lot of my friends that this would be the only IPA that we had on our menu when we first started because I wasn't a big IPA fan, but that didn't last long.
Yeah. And that's one thing that we've heard from several brewers is you have to have a variety to fit everybody's palate, especially because I just talked to somebody recently. They want to try. I said, "Do you want to try the beer I got on tap?" Oh, I don't like all that hoppy stuff. It's not all hoppy. Hops are in every beer.
Correct.
And that's the misconception that people have is you talk about a craft beer, the first thing they think of is a hoppy IPA, and they don't like it. And yet you find somebody that give them this.
What you should do is just say, I don't like hoppy beer, and said, okay, hand them a glass of water.
That'll work too.
Or a Coors Light.
That's what we do at the car show.
Take Coors Light.
Coors Light.
No, because a lot of them do ask for Coors Light and Bud Light.
Oh, do they?
We don't have that, so we actually brewed an American lager for that one.
Okay,
strictly for car shows.
Okay, so you have like a light lager that you can give to them.
We do, and we have a special label this year for the 50th anniversary of Carlisle events.
Oh, that's
so we did
cool.
a special label with them for that this year. So.
Do you now? Is there any kind of a restriction at you have the old Pepsi Coke thing? You know, you can only have Pepsi in this place and Coke in this place, but like at the car show, do they say you can't have a particular beer? You only can have this beer. I've seen that.
We are the only ones allowed to sell beer on the fairgrounds during car shows.
Well, you got it then,
because that's in our lease agreement with them because we lease the building from them.
That's a perk.
That's smart.
That's a perk.
So people obviously still bring their other beer in, but we're the only ones out there selling.
So did you find it difficult trying to start a brewery, because you came from engineering, you came from the airline industry? Did you find it difficult to transition into being a brewery owner with food and coming up with a business plan to do this?
I'd say yes, because it took us 6 years from the time we started talking about it to the time we actually opened.
Oh, okay. So there was a lot of planning going on.
Yes.
Lots of planning and
trying to find loans and locations and
lots of studying. He went to school. It wasn't just like, I'm opening a brewery tomorrow, and we opened up the next day. He went to Chicago to the Siebel Institute.
Oh.
And then American Brewers Guild, which went up there for a week in Vermont. So I took a vacation from engineering to go to do that, but they didn't know what I was doing.
But that was also a 23-week
Oh, yeah. Most of it was online. And the last
course.
week I went up there for.
That's awesome.
For hands-on brewing. And
I say that's a first on the show that we've had somebody say they did that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So you guys really took this serious, and you wanted to do it right.
Yes. And then when we interviewed talked to a person to be our assistant brewer, I said, if you take this class at American Brewers Guild, you're hired. And he signed up for it the next day.
Oh.
So he did the same thing.
He was passionate. He's passionate too.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's great. And you guys have been in business now. Was it you or was Molly Pitcher before you, or you
they
guys?
Were a couple years before.
Years before. Yeah, we had Tim on here. And now you guys are populating up there. It's you guys, Molly Pitcher, Back Porch.
And Official Brewing's coming sometime.
Yeah, because
Bird's Nest closed. And that's where Official Brewing's going into.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, it's a growing area up there, too. And you got Hook and Flask downtown.
Yeah.
What's the winery there right down from the square?
Castle Rig.
Okay, there's another one right there. So as you pass the square, there's a little tasting room there on the left. I forget the name of it.
There's Grand Illusion.
Grand Illusion.
Place.
The cider place.
Yeah, the cider place. I'm sorry. I said
That's
winery.
okay.
I said winery, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
That's Castle Rig.
God damn. Yeah.
Maybe you need to have another drink.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll oblige.
I'll drink with you.
Me too. Cheers.
Cheers. So it's phenomenal. So what you got out of the airline business just to do this with him?
Yes, I was able to retire with full benefits.
Cool.
And so, yeah, it was a lot of sweat, hard work, equity put into that. Just there every single day, tearing the place up.
I was going to say that
cleaning.
it probably needed a very good makeover to make it what you needed to work for you.
Yeah, so standing on that scaffolding for 3 weeks to get those beams painted that you see there
Yep.
when you look up to the ceiling.
And there
It
was
was-
a drop ceiling in there, too. And it took us 2 40-yard dumpsters to get all of that out of there.
Oh, man. Wow, that is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
It
No,
was.
And beers.
And beers, yeah.
And credit to my mom and stepdad for coming up
Yes.
and helping with that one.
And my mom would watch the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of family effort there.
Now, off camera, you were telling us a little bit. This is old hat for you sitting in front of a microphone and camera.
Yes,
You're some
it
kind of
is.
movie star.
Oh, no, I'm not really, but
But you said with your other career, you were doing some stuff in front of the cameras and recordings and stuff
I
like
did.
that.
Back in Tampa, I did a lot of volunteer work for Susan G. Komen, and I was race chair one year. So,
And that's the breast cancer.
yes, it is. And our location would raise $1 million a year, so I would be in charge of that. And so just out fundraising and doing a lot of fun things like that, silent auctions, all kinds of events, and we had our race.
Wow, you're more into marketing planning.
Well, that's what I do now. I'm out in sales along with the whole restaurant part of the brewery, the tap house.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah. So as far as what you're saying there, and I can buy Desperate Times beer at where we buy our stuff down here at DJ's Westgate.
Mm-hmm.
So do you self-distribute, or is somebody distributing it for you?
We self-distribute around here.
Okay.
We have one other distributor that's more towards Philadelphia area that we just started with them a couple months ago, I guess it was.
But we do have another sales rep, so he's all the way out to Philly.
Oh, wow. So you are spreading your wings and
are.
making sure the rest of the state knows about you guys.
Spreading her wings, like the flight.
Yeah. I mean, she was a flight attendant.
Flight
Yeah.
She's used to that.
She's spreading her wings. Is a little play on words.
That's right.
Standing up there doing, with what they used to always have to point and all that kind of stuff as they go through the safety protocols.
I'm sure
You could
she's-
probably
Yes.
do that like off the back of your head, right?
Still
I
have it
could,
memorized.
but I flew the planes that did videos.
Oh, okay.
So I was fortunate enough that I didn't have to get out there that often and do
Just
it
push a
anymore.
button.
Push a button and hit
Push the
play.
button.
Pay attention.
Yes.
Yes.
I do. I have a kind of a quick question just for you. Is I've often wondered about flight attendants and pilots that it's at the everyday in an airplane flying all the time. Did you ever get nervous? I was curious.
There were times, I'm going to admit, that I was nervous. You have to show a poker face.
I'm sure. Everybody's the flight attendant's back there. She's scared to death.
Yeah, what do we do?
Exactly, because we're the face. They look at
Yeah.
us, and if we don't show that we're nervous, then they're good.
Yeah.
That usually really helps calm them down.
Yeah.
And
Ma'am, you might want to hug your husband.
One last time.
No,
Yeah.
It's just that, the mind-boggling thing is if you ever did the numbers and you look at how many planes are up there for how many hours carrying how many millions of people, and you hear one incident and then it just all that, you're like, oh my God, they're all dead. They're all bad, but it isn't. I mean, it's the safest form of transportation, outside of just walking from your bedroom to your coffee cup hut. But I mean, it's the safest form of transportation that we have.
Really is. I mean, but it is, scary. And I guess the part about it is if you do get in an accident, there's just so many people.
It's one big
Yes,
yeah.
at one time.
Because, I mean, most of the aircraft that I flew had minimum 200 people on it. So if there is an accident, it's a lot of people at one time. But there are, you could walk across the street and get hit.
Oh, yeah.
Those are car accidents. Those are more prevalent than.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more common.
Yeah.
So, but after September 11th, everything I changed.
And you were supposed to fly that day, weren't you?
I was flying.
Oh, you were?
I was.
Oh, okay.
So are you both from Tampa? Is that how you got into Tampa?
I am originally from Harrisburg.
So you are from this area.
But I moved out when I was 8 and moved around for a while. And when we met, I was living in Holiday, Florida, which is north of Tampa.
Okay.
About 45 minutes. So.
And now are you from Tampa?
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yes.
It's a lot different temperatures up here in PA.
Oh, it's a lot different.
Buccaneers fan?
I am. I'm not a big sports fan, but of course, I'm loyal to my hometown.
Okay.
So I don't ever know who's playing. But
Unless I tell them.
So what's your favorite sport?
I always like college football, but that's kind of that's hard to watch now with transfers and nil, and it's like,
it's hard to watch if you're a Penn State fan.
I like Penn State, but I went to Virginia Tech, so I'm a huge Virginia Tech fan on that front.
There you go.
Dave and I always have a little argument. He's Pitt, I'm Penn State.
Yeah.
Well, I never went to college.
Yeah, that's right. So
there's a rivalry between Pitt and Virginia Tech because they're both in the ACC and they're both in the same conference.
I took Susan to a game up in Pitt, and Pitt did kick our butt pretty good.
yeah, I'm not allowed to go to games anymore.
She's a jinx.
I love it.
I'm a jinx.
I thought it was something else that you were yelling at something that they weren't allowed in anymore.
No, we just went down to ACC tournament too to watch Virginia Tech play Florida State, and we lost again.
And she was there.
She was there.
The one common denominator, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I did go to Florida, and then I transferred to USF and finished up there. So.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I never went to college. My education came from Uncle Sam.
That's right. He served for us.
Yep.
So,
that's a good education too.
Yep.
So back to beer.
Is that what this is all about? I'm sorry. I
forgot.
I kind of drifted off there.
Oh, well, that's fine. Your award winners. I mean, it's not just the red IPA and the Schwartz beer. I mean, you have. Or are they the main recipes? I mean, what got you into putting into competitions? It was just something you wanted to do?
I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to judges' feedback to try to improve the beer.
Okay.
So we wanted to do that, but if you've ever entered a competition, judges write like doctors, and you can't read them. No. And I think they just make up words. Even a U.S. Beer Open that we enter every year.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean,
they will not give feedback.
Oh, they don't.
I actually called the guy and said, we haven't got our judges' feedback yet. He said, we don't do that because I used to be a brewer and I found them absolutely no help. So he said, it saves us time if we don't do that.
Wow.
But a lot of people are doing it online now, so they'll email it to you. So then you can actually read it because they'll put it on a chart and they'll type it in so you can actually read it. So
that's good.
Some feedback's good. Some's kind of like, what are you talking about?
One of our guests was going to be a judge.
Yeah, he was going to school to be. He was going through all the testing to become one of the judges. The hell was that called?
BJCP or something like that.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. But yeah, that one year, the 2022, you had a silver and a bronze.
Correct.
And that's the U.S. Open. I mean, that's a pretty big competition as well. So
yes, that's the Schwartz Beer won a gold medal there for us on that one at the U.S. Beer Open, and the Weizen has won a bronze and a silver at that competition.
Wow. We're sitting amongst some royalty over here.
Yeah, we are. Yes. We'll have to get some.
I feel like a fucking peasant.
Still got to win the World Beer Cup, though we haven't won anything on that one yet. That's the next
And he
goal.
did always say, when we win our first medal, we're going
Then
to
I can
retire.
Oh,
Oh my God, that reminds me of Derek Wolf. Do you remember with Derek?
yeah.
So you know Derek Wolf from Wolf Brewing?
I've met him, yes.
Yeah.
We had him on, and he was talking about. Well, my wife said when I win 5 awards, I can open up my brewery. He won what 18 that first
Yeah.
year.
First
I'm
time.
like, damn.
And he doesn't even have to do it.
Yeah. No. And I, that's why I asked if you guys, this is your full-time job now, and it keeps you busy enough. I can't imagine doing this and a full-time job and trying to do it. And that's why I said, we entertain, it'd be great to have a brewery and stuff with our beer. Nah, I like my weekends way too much. We wouldn't be able to do this. We'd be doing the brewery stuff.
This keeps us busy enough, really.
True.
So how big is your system that you brew on?
We have a 10-barrel system,
That's a pretty big system.
but all of our, well, not all of them. We have 2 10-barrel fermentation tanks, and the rest of them are 20-barrel, so we can double batch and fill them up.
Wow, that's a lot of beer.
So we were going to do a double batch today, but we had boiler issues, so it ended up being a single batch.
Okay.
So you always got to.
Now, how often do you brew on that?
Depends. We usually 1 to 2 times a week.
Okay.
In the summertime, we will split the double batch up into 2 days. Just like we don't have air conditioning in the back,
Yeah, because
so it does get hot.
you were saying it gets hot, and that is like if you're going to do a double batch, that's almost like a 10-hour day.
Oh yeah, we'll start at 5:30 in the morning, and get done about 4:30 at night. And so we'll split it up. We'll start at 5:30. That way, our single batch will be done by 12:30 or 1. Get it cleaned up, get out of there before it gets over 100 degrees in the back. Hopefully,
Need some climate control back there.
we've tried. Well, we've had it priced up. We use fans and everything right
Yeah.
now. But that's about it.
Fans will be good enough right now, right?
Yes.
I know how it is with the business side. I own a business, and yeah, we can make do with what we got.
Yes. So that's a workaround. Just doing it, splitting it up into 2 days for that.
And that's so you're looking at a 10-barrel system, and you got 20-barrel fermenters and 10-barrel fermenters. That's a lot of beer. And I guess you almost need that if you're doing your sales and the canning to get it out there. Now, you have your own canning line as well?
We do. We have a 3-head system. We
Yep.
usually do about 12 to 15 a minute.
Wow,
Somewhere around there.
Dave wants to. He loves doing that. Come up there with his camera and take video of the canning line.
Okay, I was just wondering where this was going when he said Dave loves this. Yeah, the videoing and taking. I like to take pictures of different breweries, and I did take a series of videos of a canning line, and it was very interesting to watch.
That was a mobile line.
It was a mobile line.
That was actually for Molly Pitcher.
for Molly Pitcher.
Oh, yeah. We went up there and watched them do that.
Yeah,
One
so
day,
Tim
we went up there.
Tim invited us up and Dave went up to do the video of it, and it's awesome. We got to come visit. We got to come up and visit the brew house.
You do.
Yeah, we have a similar system to that mobile canning line where one guy feeds the cans and I'm on the other end and I'll weigh them and put them in the cases and run them to the cold box and come back. And
Yeah, we're gonna have
Yes.
to make a
It's
visit
a lot of work.
if we're
You can't-
invited.
You can't go
You're
to sleep
always
on it.
invited.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, did you hear that, Dave?
What's that?
We're always invited.
We're always invited. Well, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
We need
it's about time that we get invited.
instead
Yeah,
of just barging in.
Because usually it's me that kills that invite. You're invited except him.
You going to bring Brett with you? No, I'm sorry, you can't come.
Is that after
Yeah.
the first visit or?
That's after the 5th beer.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, I just brewed our Irish Red again, and I kicked the 1 keg. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll have to come up because I enjoy doing the trips, and we tell them that we're coming up, and we always come up, and sample their beer and their food, and take a look around and see where it is, and buy a bunch of 6-packs to go.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
we
we usually yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say maybe Kevin could drive you all since he's out in his rental car all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know. We got to watch him when he drinks too. Dave's usually the sober one.
yeah.
We'll just give him the IPAs. That way.
There we go.
Yeah.
He won't drink them all.
I thought this one
That
was
one's really good.
was pretty good. You know, I'm
good.
not complaining too much.
It
It was hoppy. Yeah, I'm going to give you that.
I'm going to have to come up either to visit you guys and get a couple of those to keep in the fridge, or see if Sebastian can get it at Westgate.
Oh, you tell them what you
yeah.
want, and I'll get it there. That's my account.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
There you go.
Yes, we've had Sebastian. He was on our first episodes.
One of our first
so-
episodes. Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, and that's the place in New York if you want craft beer, because they know it. They know exactly what they got. Hey, I'm looking for this. Let me show you.
Yeah, it's
This
nice.
is where you want. So we've gone in there several times. It's like when we started this, we were looking at. We wanted to get used to us, so we come up with some theme stuff, and we named it Central PA Pour just because we want to concentrate on the Central Pennsylvania area. And Doug, his partner, his one friend in there, is like, "Why are you just doing that?" Well, we come to find out it's hard to find a beer unless we traveled to go get it and bring it on studio. But now we're having a good time, man. This is just, we love meeting you guys.
Well, thank
We
you.
love the community that the craft industry brings.
Mm-hmm.
What else besides the car shows up there in Carlisle? What else do you guys do? Do you guys do stuff up there like throughout the summer, the fall? Do you have events? Because we're finding there's all kind of different niches that places like your places are trying to come up with to keep people entertained and keep them in your house, because that's where the money comes in.
Correct.
Yeah, well, Thursdays we have trivia, and it's a packed house. It's amazing how many people come out every Thursday. This summer we have a lot of fun things planned, or it's actually once the weather starts turning nice, which is shortly, hopefully, fingers crossed. We are going to be putting out the AstroTurf, and we're going to be having cornhole competitions, ladder ball, things like that. We're going to rearrange some things outside and extend our beer garden a little bit, and then just do some fun things. I'm thinking about having bourbon, because we do sell distilled spirits, so bourbon, beer, and cigar night one night outside, because we are no
sign.
smoking.
I'll
But
come up for the cigars. You guys can drink the bourbon. I'll drink the beer, the barrel aged beer. I like a good cigar. That'd be cool.
So-
Now, the beer garden, is that out front, or do we have more places than just out front there?
That is on the side where the main parking lot is.
All right,
And we
so-
have seating
Yes.
for what, about 50 people?
I have not seen that part of it. When I've come up, it's usually just those couple tables out front, and then you walk up the walkway to go in the door.
that's the beer garden.
Yeah.
So that is the beer garden.
That fits about 60 people.
Oh, wow.
But,
bigger than I thought it was.
we
but
probably
just-
don't have everything out
Okay.
because it's winter, but yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I plan on my thought that's going on in my head right now is the ramp. That's where we'll do the bourbon, beer, and cigars. And I was gonna
You talk about the concrete loading dock.
the concrete loading dock.
I know you'd be into that.
Oh, yeah. Not the concrete loading dock. I would be in for the
The bourbon
beer
and cigars.
cigars.
And speaking of that, you said you were doing your one stout for the first time in a barrel,
Correct. We're doing our turtle stout.
which is delicious, by the way. I love that beer.
We always bring that out right before Thanksgiving every year. And this year we did an extra batch, and we have 2 bourbon barrels from Hidden Still. So we have 2 of their 55 gallons, I believe they are, barrels sitting in the back right now.
Wow.
So they've been in there about 4 months right now.
And they're going to be the ones released this fall?
Yes.
Oh, man.
So we'll have of course we'll have our normal turtle stout as well, but we'll have that as well. Yeah.
We like the bourbon barrel.
Yes, we do.
We
That's
like
one
the
of my
barrel
favorite
aged.
styles.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
So you're not a beer drinker, but you're going to go for the heavy, high ABV
Oh.
barrel aged
That's
stuff.
what she likes.
That's
Troganator
what I-
was the
that's-
one that got her into beer.
That's what got me started to drinking beer was Troganator.
That's awesome. I love
So
it.
it could only be the high octane beer for me.
Because she was more of a wine drinker, so I think that's more alcohol wise.
Yeah, and that's I don't like wine. Yeah. Even though we have a wine podcast, Dave has a wine podcast going. It's called Uncorked with Alex. I can't do wine, but wine usually carries more higher ABV than anything else. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just will never find out. I can't do it. I the only wine I've ever drank really, Mad Dog 2020.
Oh,
The the $5 bottles that you could find in the convenience
grape
stores.
or the
I thought
orange.
you were going to mention a wine there. For
I
me.
know. Well, that's
I
really going to
did.
make you feel great the next day.
Well, Night Train, they made a whole song on that.
Yeah, yes, they did. I mean, I always like to bust them at the wine and spirits. I'll walk in and says, "Where'd you guys have the Ripple at? I couldn't find it." They've gotten to the point where they don't even look at me sideways anymore. They shut up.
You know what? We're starting to get a reputation.
Yeah,
You've been hanging around me too much.
that's a shame.
Well, speaking of award-winning beer, I think that's what we're going to be trying here next. Am I correct?
Yes, a Black Forest Schwarzbier. And that came about because Susan's whole family's from Germany.
Oh,
So the first time I went over to Germany to meet everybody, Schwarzbier was my favorite style. When I went over there, I said, I got to figure out how to brew one of those.
Oh,
So that's where that came from.
cool.
and you did. And this is your award winner.
Yes, it's won a gold medal at the U.S. Beer Open and a silver medal at the Great American Beer Fest.
Wow. So this is the black lager Schwarzbier. What goes into making a black lager?
Well, Schwarzbiers are a little different because they're still on the lighter side of a beer. They're not.
It's not a heavy beer.
A lot of people won't even try because I don't want a heavy.
Well, they
dark
look
beer.
they look at a stout the same way, and actually stouts are thin.
So I'm like, just close your eyes and try this.
Yeah.
It still has the roasty notes and everything to it, but it's just not a heavy beer. It's still, I can drink it all summer. It's an easy drinker to me.
I drink beer. I don't care what time of year
Yeah.
it is. So,
Yeah.
cheers to
Cheers.
the Black Forest. Oh man, that is nice and light. It's not a heavy, and that's the misconception. People see dark beers and they think, "Oh, it's just too heavy." And it's not heavy.
Correct.
This has a nice lagering palate to it, and that roasty notes are just they're really coming to the forefront off from the back. It's really nice. I can see why you won some awards with this one.
It's actually one of my top sellers for my accounts. In some places I can't even keep it in stock.
You just got to brew more.
I'm waiting for it to be ready.
Because I mean, a
just put it in
lager
a bright
takes.
tank.
It's not a turnaround in 2 weeks. This
No.
is it's a process.
We just actually put it in a bright tank today,
All
the
right.
next batch. So.
So is that a double batch or is that
It
just,
is a double, yes.
That's a 20 barrel.
Yes.
That's a lot. So you'll be able to resupply them.
Yes, I got my list. People waiting for it.
Now, do you guys have mug clubs and stuff up there as well?
We do. We have a mug club. It starts in March, and we limit it to 80 people. And once it's sold, it's sold. You cannot join mid-year. And if you didn't buy one, mug club members that are already members, they get first choice if they're going to renew. And then it opens up to the public. So, but it sells out quickly.
I was going to ask. I noticed recently you've been like featuring certain mug club members on your social media platform.
Yes.
So you're making them famous.
Yes, we are. We have to get their permission if they don't mind being on Facebook or Instagram. But
You know what? I've never asked anybody for their permission to be on our podcast. I just assume they're coming. We're good.
Well, when they show up, that's kind of like giving permission.
yeah,
If they didn't want to give us permission, they wouldn't be here.
Oh, I've been told to go no where, but no, I think that's great. Future plans? You going to stay in that facility? Expand it? Anything in the future?
Well, we just bought new tanks for the facility, so we're pretty much maxed out where we are in the back. But we have plenty of capacity to expand, so we have been talking to other distributors to the north of here and actually one in Florida.
so excited.
Oh, wow.
Get back to her hometown.
Yes,
That'd be cool. You go down there as a salesman. Hey, you want to try?
I know.
That's what she said.
And
I was like,
Try
down there once a week.
our beer.
the test program is actually Tampa, and I'm like, of all the cities that they could have picked in Florida or in the whole country, and they picked Tampa.
Yeah, this
Because-
company just went live in February. They just got their first delivery of craft beer Friday because I talked to the guy today. So we would be pretty much their second customer, and so
Oh.
just getting kicked off down there.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So we have a few inns down there on places that we could be. So we'll see how it goes.
Now, wouldn't it be cool? You guys are the only beer person in the Carlisle Fairgrounds. What do you think of being the only one in Buccaneer Stadium?
Oh boy.
We got to sell a lot of beer to be a
Yes.
sponsor for that one.
That'd be cool. I mean, that's awesome that you guys are really. I mean, it's come to fruition.
Yes.
Did you dream it would get to this point?
We were hoping.
We
You
would,
were hoping.
yeah. That was our dream.
So,
We got to retire somehow.
yeah.
So,
Well, she's already retired once.
That's true.
true. But yeah, we're on tap at the Senators. And now they're called the Stormers, no longer the Barnstormers.
Okay.
Oh.
So Lancaster did away with the Barnstormer name.
Yes,
Correct. This
they're
year.
called Stormers now.
I'm not even going to go there.
I'm kind of disappointed.
yeah.
You know, and I live here, and I don't. Well,
I love baseball. And the Revolution and the Barnstormers, it's a rivalry.
Yes.
Why in the hell did they do that?
I like
I'm not even
I
going to
like
ask.
the name.
I'm not even going to ask.
Barnstormers.
I'm not gonna
I always
ask.
liked that name.
Yeah, I don't know the history behind it since I'm not here. But
Well, they still could be rivals. They just
No, they can, but I like you. I like the Barnstormers.
I like that name.
I like the
did.
Barnstormers because that's an actual thing that happened. I mean, the biplane wings, it was the Barnstormers. I mean, that was what they were
Yeah.
on the fields, spreading the chemicals.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed their name, but this is their first year as the Stormers.
The Stormers. Maybe
So-
they had a problem with the name. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not even going to ask. That's what I said. I'm not even going to go down that path.
Or they want everybody to buy new merchandise.
That might be it. No, it might be a might be a marketing scheme, rebranding.
Yeah.
They call it rebranding. And you were talking about your labels that you want color.
Correct. Originally, we were all black and white on all the labels, but then we discovered we needed to have a little more pop to it. Like the Black Forest Schwarzbier, since somebody's from Germany, our whole family's from Germany. That's where the Schwarzbier originated
we're gonna
from.
show
So
it.
there's Black Forest is known for their cuckoo clocks.
Yes, I've been at the Black Forest.
I wish I could be the graphic designer. I send them pictures and tell them exactly what I want on the can. They make the money, but I tell them what we want.
Well, it's your brand, and it's what you're putting out that you want to look. So it is a representation. Black Forest. I was there. Bought a cuckoo clock. Sent it home. Just a little small one. That's all I could afford. So all these recipes that you do, do you venture out and come up with new ones, or are you sticking to some of the traditionals and maybe one or two different ones? Do you have a rotating tap?
We will keep. Originally, it was just we'll keep 6 of them, but then we did the Hazy Galaxy New England IPA, and since that's so popular, we keep that one,
Okay.
and then we'll rotate the other 5.
All right. So nothing new and adventurous, or any smoothie sours, or
I wish.
that's why I was
I'm
looking
still
at her.
scared to do a sour.
I love sours.
That's why I was looking at Susan. And it's like, okay. So
My father-in-law just brought me a sour over Easter. They live in
Key lime pie
Richmond.
sour, wasn't
Key
it?
lime pie.
oh yeah, we've had some. I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones,
Yes.
and that one is you better hit it right if you're going to do a key lime.
We've done a key lime IPA before. That
Okay.
turned out pretty well.
Did it? Well,
That
there,
was good.
just change the yeast and sour that.
Maybe one day.
We could put you in touch with some people that like sours, and they.
I'm just nervous about contaminating everything in the brew house. But
That's the wild yeast.
yeah, I know that you can add stuff after the fact now.
Yeah, they can kettle sour it with different stuff. Yeah,
But people say
I'm
that's
with
not
you.
the proper way to do it.
I'm with you. I'm not. I'm just a home brewer doing 5-gallon batches. I'm not doing 10 barrels because you got to get that right if you're doing a 10-barrel system. That's
Yeah, the smallest batch we can do is about 8 barrels if we do our smallest.
okay. So you don't have a test system. You don't have a
We do
pilot
not,
system.
no.
Where's that 5-gallon thing you used to do on the stovetop?
I have that at home still. We could try something.
The turkey fryer.
That's wouldn't be bad. Make your wife happy.
We could just put it on tap at home in a kegerator.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Anything that you guys like to do outside of the brewery? Probably your free time is probably not as vibrant as it was once before you had a brewery.
I say we still like to travel.
Okay.
Yes, we love to travel. We do have 2 kids, so 2 boys. So that occupies our time quite a bit with their activities.
Okay. How old are the children?
13 and 15.
Oh, so they're still kind of young.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have any interest in following parents' footsteps?
To be determined.
To be determined.
One day they say maybe, next day they're like no.
Yeah, they still don't know. I mean, they're still young.
Still young. I'm thinking probably the oldest one, no. The youngest one, who knows where he's going to be. He's all over the place now.
Well, I can tell you one thing. When they start to becoming, juniors and seniors in high school, and they get into drinking beer, they may be very popular because their parents own a brewery.
Well, the oldest one, when he just started high school this year. So he was all nervous. He's like, should I schedule my classes like I'm going to take over the brewery? Or you don't have to worry about that right now. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
You're 14.
So do what you want to do right now.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
You've got lots of time.
Yeah.
So we already know about some sports. And you like college football? Have you watched any
all
of
college
that?
sports, yeah.
Okay, so you followed the March Madness that was going
Oh,
on. That as we were recording it, I just think it ended, right?
Last night.
Yeah, so that was UConn winning again. That's one thing I can't get into. I can't get into basketball, even though my youngest is a huge basketball fan. And he plays pretty well too.
Yeah, it was UConn.
What's that?
Yes, it was UConn.
With UConn? Okay.
Well, that's the hard part too, because our basketball team, our starting center just got offered $500,000 from Miami, allegedly. So he's transferring to Miami. Our starting point guard supposedly got offered $300,000 in a car, so he'll probably go to Oklahoma. So it's kind of like
You had mentioned the NIL stuff that's going on. It's ruining college sports.
they got to get some sort of cap on that or something.
They can't.
Under control.
It's like free agency at the Big West in free agency. It's stupid. It's ruining college sports.
It's even worse than the NFL because there's a rumor going out that LSU has offered Virginia Tech's quarterback a bunch of money to leave this spring to go to LSU this fall. It's like, isn't that tampering or anything? I'm like,
Didn't we have this discussion about the NIL?
I don't remember. I don't recall. It sounded like what we had talked about this earlier.
I understand the high end college athletes that were the colleges are making money on them with their jersey sales or whatever. I understand that. Let the kids make a little money. But Christ, these kids are getting offered millions of dollars.
And they get free education.
Yeah, they're already getting a free education.
which
get a
they
free
don't care
ride.
about. Most
Yeah,
of
they
them.
don't
It's
care.
like, yeah.
I don't know. Change the subject.
I was going to say, it's a whole nother ballgame right there.
So you are dog friendly? Do
Yes,
people bring
we
their pets
are.
a lot, or
They do. They bring them to the beer garden. And on Mondays, we have Pup Cup Monday for the dogs, and they get a little cup of whipped cream with the dog bone. If you bring them into the beer garden.
Well, you really treat them nice.
We do. They get great
That's
dog
pretty
bones.
cool.
I'd give them beer?
Yeah. Is there an age limit for the dog for the
I
beer?
say, it's got to be 3, right? 7 times 3.
Yeah, I guess it's 7. Yeah, 7 for every 7.
That's right.
Does that go for the cat? Because then my cat is like ancient. Actually, my
9
cat,
lives, yeah.
yeah, my cat's older than you, Dave.
I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when.
I had to throw one in. You know that. I had to throw something in. So you guys do the trivia night and stuff like that. Live music, anything like that you guys do up there?
Yes, we've started live music. We do it once a month.
Once a month, okay.
So we just had it this past weekend. We do it on Fridays.
So Fridays would be a live music once a month. And you keep that updated on your social media?
Yes, we do.
And you also have a newsletter people can sign up for. What's in the newsletter?
The newsletter tells.
Been non-existent lately.
Okay. Sorry I brought it up.
Yeah, we're starting it back up, but Yeah, we just have been all over the place. That it's just really been hard to keep up with that. And now our social media is actually one of our employees, and
Okay.
that's what she does for a living. Because most of our employees all have full-time jobs, and their fun job is working for us. So I've handed her the reins to do.
Younger?
Yes, she's younger.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
I did the same thing. That I got younger tech and told him to make some TikTok stuff, and he did.
Must be talking about you, right? Younger.
Yeah, that's I'm the young guy in the group. Yeah.
So she does everything, and she just redid our board at the brewery, and then all our other boards, she writes stuff out. So it's great.
That's it. And you need to be on social media. You really need to be on social media to catch the audience you're trying to get.
Yeah.
You're trying to bring in the younger, 20 to 30 something, and not just the 50 to 80 people. Because you want to bring in some of the younger crowd. What are your hours up there?
We're closed on Mondays. Oh, excuse me. We're closed on Tuesdays. We're open Wednesday and Thursday 4 to...
Mondays 4 to 8, or 4 to 9 now this time of year. Thursdays were 4 to 9:30 because that's trivia night. Wednesdays just 4 to 9. Fridays 3 to 10, and Saturdays 11:30 to 10, and then Sunday we're open 12 to 8.
That's awesome. And that's all but one day of the week.
Yes,
Is that the brew
Yes.
day?
usually that's brew day. Yes.
That's Tuesday's the brew day?
But sometimes it doesn't always work out, so we'll brew
No,
on other days.
nothing ever works out the way you plan it sometimes.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
So we talked about your future, and you want to continue this path. And you looking to expand your recipe as far as the beers go, or maybe keep winning these awards?
We're going to try to keep winning. We just entered the World Beer Cup.
Okay, so
So-
you're going to you want to get that one. I can
Yes.
tell that. You want that
It
one.
used to be they only did that one every 2 years, but now they do it every year.
Okay, so it's an annual one.
Yes, so we just submitted 4 beers to that one. We'll find out April 24th, I believe it is.
Oh,
They
so
do it at the
that's-
Craft Brewers Conference.
So by the time this episode comes out, we'll know your answer.
Yes, it'll
and
be
we
right
c-
after the
and-
spring car show.
And we can put that your results in there.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, we'd be
Hopefully
loved it.
it's
We'd love to
a
hear it.
winner.
Yes, hopefully.
I tell you
Then
what,
I can retire after the
then
World
you
Beer
can
Cup.
retire. Then you could put a big neon sign above your building. That's awesome. I mean, and so how does one go about submitting the beer?
You have to register for them, and obviously each one has an entry fee. Some are a lot more expensive than others. And then you, like the World Beer Cup and Great American Beer Fest, you actually ship the beers to Colorado. That's where they judge them. U.S. Beer Open, they judge those in Ohio, so you ship them out there for that one.
And you almost have to be able to can it or bottle it.
We originally bottled them by hand. We
Okay.
made our own little rig to bottle them, like the counter pressure that you do at home and everything. But now we just, we can them all.
That's pretty
Send
good.
them out there.
And you do this every year?
We
do.
do.
Do you enter every one, or you pick and choose what you want to enter?
We'll usually always do the World Beer Cup, the Great American Beer Fest, and the U.S. Beer Open. We had another one that you found that we entered, but we've only done that one once. There's a lot of competitions out there. We
Oh,
just
my
try to
God.
hit the
I-
biggest ones because
Yeah.
it gets expensive with shipping and entry fees. And
Shipping alone is $600 to $800.
How much beer do you have to frickin' ship?
well, like the World Beer Cup, if you do a big category, as they call it, like hazy or hazy IPAs and all that, you have to send at least 10 16-ounce cans of those, sometimes up to 12. And then if you enter 4 of them, 4 different varieties, you're sending a case and a half, 2 cases of beer out there.
Holy shit.
So
We
then
need-
you usually do it overnight too, because you don't want it to warm up or anything. So you put
Yeah,
in a nice
that's-
insulated
that's-
box that we get our yeast from. White Labs, they make excellent boxes. So we pack the beer up in there because they're already insulated and everything. And
Yeah, that's what I used in the last 2 brews I just did. The Irish Red was a White Labs Irish Ale yeast. And then with the ESB that I did, I couldn't find my ESB yeast, so I wound up just doing an English Ale yeast. So that's what I use, and I use the White Labs. Most of the time, it's Safe Ale, USO5 for
Yes.
most of my stuff. That's a pretty safe bet there. Standard yeast.
yeah, we usually use something different for all of our beers. So we don't yeast propagate it all because we don't brew enough to do that. And plus, like I said, we use a different yeast for pretty much everything.
And do you have starters that you keep on tap, or do you just keep getting new yeast for every batch?
We just keep getting new yeast every time.
Because we talked to a bunch of people that that they well, who was it? Prototype. He captured some wild yeast outside in a beer. He was doing an experiment, and that was 8 years, and he still has the same strain.
Wow.
Nice.
Above me. I have no clue. I don't want. I'll go.
That's
buy
why
it.
you don't want a brewery.
Exactly. I'll go buy a pack of yeast or something like that just to do the beer.
Or borrow.
Yeah, we had to
We had
borrow one.
we had to borrow
one.
yeast in the middle of the brew.
Yeah, I was getting near the end of the boil. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to buy yeast. Started calling people. Hey, you got? Yeah, I'll bring it over. Thank you.
Well, that's great about craft beer too, because Molly Pitcher, if they need something, they can call us. If we need something, we can call them.
I was gonna
this. Yes.
I was going to ask. I mean, you guys do any collabs up there? And the community itself is very opening and they're very friendly. You're all kind of rivals. I mean, you're all after the same business, but it is what it is. But everybody's open. You just mentioned it. You work together.
Correct. We've only done 2 collabs so far. One with Riverbend, who's no longer in business, and we did one with Moo Duck.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, Mike from Moo Duck.
We did a Belgian double with him.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's funny.
Had a great interview with him, and he's got a good thing going too. Little tap room. He loves it. That's what we find. Just the stories, the people, it has been phenomenal just to meet everybody and becoming part of this community. Even though we're not brewers, we're just kind of telling your story. We're felt welcomed in.
Yeah.
And
I just got a text the other day from Cassie from Molly Pitcher, and she's like, we're not using this cleaning product anymore. Do you need it? I'll sell it to you for a discount. We unfortunately didn't need it, but I mean, we help each other out. It's great.
Yeah. Mike, Tim and Rod from Back Porch. I've been up there a couple times. Like I said, my wife's from Carlisle, and I think as we come over there because my wife, we were going out for a birthday weekend, and we were meeting some friends at Back Porch, and that's when we come over to you. I'm like, well, we'll go up to Desperate Times first. I want to get a couple beers from there, and before we head over. So, thank God, got you in the studio.
You got us there.
So I think it's great, but we have another beer sitting here, and this is another German style, and this is an award winner too.
Correct. That's a German style Weizen, and that one has won a silver medal and a bronze medal at the U.S. Beer Open. So that one has the banana and clove notes in it.
Okay, so this is a banana clove Hefeweizen.
Correct.
And you're doing this because her family's from Germany, correct?
Yes.
This is what Josh wants to do, a banana clove.
And that's all on the yeast you use for that one.
Is it? Because he's trying. I said, you come up with a recipe, we'll try and brew it. And you come up, you figure out the banana and clove, so that the banana and the clove will come from the yeast.
Yeah, it doesn't come from adding bananas and clove to
Okay.
the beer.
I'm just
It's all the yeast.
because I told him. First off, a Hefeweizen is not one of my favorite styles. I will drink it,
Mine either.
but I said if you wanted to brew it, you come up with the recipe, we'll brew it. But you better get a kegerator in your house to keep it on tap, because I'm going to keep other stuff on my kegerator. So what kind of malt bases are we looking at for a Hefe?
That one's easy. It's just 50-50. Wheat and Pilsner.
Wheat and Pilsner, and this is an award winner.
Correct.
This is your
And fermentation temperature is important on these styles. Because you can, depending how much banana flavor you want, the higher the temperature you're fermented at, the more banana you're going to get.
All right, so this is the German style Weizen. Cheers.
Cheers.
Prost.
Cheers.
Yeah, Prost.
Prost.
I should have remembered that. Prost. You know what? That's not bad.
No, it's not. It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
we try to temper down the banana flavor a little bit because we don't want it overpowering.
That's not bad. That's drinkable. I could drink one of these. Like I said, Hefe's not my favorite.
Mine either.
I can drink one. Now, she's sitting there smiling. Is it yours? Favorite?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say, if I brewed just my favorites, probably wouldn't be in business anymore.
Barrel aged stouts
Yeah.
and the Schwartz beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Schwartz beer would keep you in business.
Well, now I do like IPAs a lot more, I will say. So.
Yeah. That red IPA, I'm telling you what, that's killer. That was a good one. This is actually pretty good.
Very good.
I don't get a lot of the banana flavoring out of it, and you were just saying you didn't want to overbear the banana.
Correct.
And everybody's palate's different, so he's going to taste something different. You guys are going to taste something different than I'm going to get.
I was going to say, because I get all the banana up front and
I
the clove in
get-
the
do
back
ya?
is what I get.
Yeah.
I'm getting the clove more than I get the banana. But
I get the banana like you do.
so, what yeast strain is this that you would put in the Heffy to get the banana
You
clove
use
out?
the White Labs for that, too, the 300.
Okay. And when you talk Heffy, is that mainly what the yeast strain you would want to use in this, in a Hefeweizen?
Yes, if you want to get the banana character out of there, for sure.
Okay.
Other ones make it besides White Labs, too. You can get Apex makes a special wheat and a couple other brands.
And this is an original recipe? You
Well,
tinkered
like
with
I
this?
said, that's easy. Yeah.
Tinkered
Tinkered
with-
more tinker on that and temperatures than anything.
Okay. And you said it has to be a certain what temperature are you trying to ferment this at?
We go a little bit lower.
Okay.
Like I said, if you go up to 70s and stuff, you're going to get a lot more banana flavor out of it.
So you want to keep
So
it
we
like
tried to
65
tamper
and
it, yeah.
65 and below?
Yes.
Because like when I'm doing homebrew, I put it in my basement here. It ranges anywhere, and it depends on the time of year. 62 to 68 is where I'm at ranging it here in the basement.
You should be all right then.
For ales.
Yeah.
Yeah, for ales. I can't lager yet, but that's pretty good. What'd you think, Dave?
I liked it. It is. It's really good.
I'll have to get a couple of these and let Josh taste this. Is this what you're after? And then we can try and brew it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just get his recipe.
Do people do that like Blue Moon and put the orange on there at the brewery at all?
They don't at the brewery, but other places that they have it on tap, they put the orange slice on it.
Orange slice on it.
To make it like a blue moon.
Yes, exactly. So if we have people, do you have Blue Moon? No, but try this one.
Yeah. It's,
And that's a good point. What we
Yeah.
brought up earlier. I mean, somebody comes in there, they're used to drinking the big mass box products like the Coors Lights or something. You have something that you can compare that most people will associate with,
Correct.
Yes,
and put the orange peel on it.
exactly. Or the American lager would be like a Miller Lite type beer.
But a lot tastier. I bet.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, but people love it. It's
Or you could say our Pilsner because Miller Lite's a Pilsner.
Yeah, Miller Lite's pills. So when I go to a place and I take somebody with me that's drinks Miller Lite, Coors Light, whatever, what do they have? Like, oh, all right, so you're going to look for a Helles Lager. You're going to look for a Pilsner. That's what you want to look for. If you're drinking Coors Light or Miller Lite, look for these two. And they're going to be similar, but they're going to be fucking better.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
We get a lot of people at the car show that you don't have Bud Light or Coors Light. We're like, no, but drink this one.
Well,
They're
you
like,
don't
what
say
if I'm not going to like it? You'll like it. And
you
they're
don't
like,
say no.
oh, that's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it down at the Winter Brew Fest? That guy that came on camera with us. He goes, I don't drink
Oh,
craft
yeah.
beer. I drink Miller Lite.
Yeah.
But I found some beers down here I really like. And it probably makes you feel really good when you have somebody that comes into your place
Yeah.
that is used to drinking the mass produced beer, and you give them something, they're like, oh, yeah, I like that. Does it make you feel good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, and especially with car shows, people know us now, and I mean, our first year, it's embarrassing to say we barely sold any beer at the first car show. We were all ramped up, thinking we're going to sell this beer, and nobody would buy it because this is craft beer. Then
Yeah.
the next year came around, and people started, okay, well, I'll try it, and now people know exactly where we're located, and
You had to fish the pond a few times to catch
Yes.
the big ones.
and now we can put all our beers out there, not just the American lager that we brew specifically for the car shows, but we can put all beers, and they all sell. They've all learned now. Plus, it's different clienteles for the different car shows.
And that helps. That helps spread your word. Mm-hmm. Especially now you're trying to distribute in different places.
Oh yeah, because we'll get people
Oh.
that come in from New York. Where do you distribute in New York? Or we'll get people from New Jersey. Are you in New Jersey yet? Or like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the story we heard from a lot of like home brewers that started breweries. Like, you know, they go to brew festivals and people like their stuff. Like, where can I buy it? You can't. I can't sell it yet. And then they get a brewery open. Now they can get it. So do you do beer festivals?
We do.
How many of them do you participate in? I don't know when you're getting time if you got all the car shows you're doing as well.
That's the hard part.
I was getting ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll
So
try
we-
to do four to six a year. I would
Yeah,
guess.
we have our other brewery rep. He does some. He's doing one that's coming up. I'm not exactly sure when. In a couple month or so at the Philly Zoo, which is really
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
And then he'll do other ones throughout the year.
We need
And-
to get you guys down here to the York ones.
We've been to a couple of those. We've
The
done
Brew Kids on the Block.
We've done that one
the
before. We did
Yorktoberfest.
We've done all those.
We need to get. When was
But
the
I
last?
don't know if they're still doing those anymore.
Oh, they're still doing them.
them,
Yep.
yeah.
Brew
Oh.
Kids on the Block is back.
Because they changed that one for a while. Then they
It-
went from Brew Kids on the Block to something else.
No, I think he shut it down for a couple years and then
'Cause
brought it because
originally it was-
COVID killed it.
And originally it was only for breweries 5 years and younger.
Right. So,
So
the
we would
last
do
2
that.
years we've been out there. It's in downtown York on George Street, which is fun as shit. Bring some Nerf guns, or at least protection from the Nerf guns, because it turns into a Nerf gun battle. Yorktoberfest, that was fun. We did the Winter Brew Fest at Double Barrel
Double Barrel.
Roadhouse. That was pretty cool. So yeah, those festivals, they're fun. And
So, are you talking about when with the York, not the Yorktoberfest, the one with the Nerf gun
the
fight?
brew
Yeah,
Kids on the Block.
Kids on the
So,
Block.
is it out on the street
It is
Yeah.
on the street. They
So-
closed down George
Location.
at
Street.
the
that.
square?
So no, it's a
Down.
block down from the square. So they call that Restaurant Row. It's where
Yeah.
Tony's and Left Bank
Yep,
is.
you to Tony's
Gift
has
horses
us and
right there.
Iron Horse.
Yep. Well, Iron Horse is up on the square. So Gift Horse is on that block. So they closed down that whole block from George Street to or Philadelphia Street to.
Fever? No.
I forget what the other street is, but they closed that block down, and it's fun. It's just we're sitting there recording, and then we try and get everybody on that's there.
Yeah.
And next thing we're seeing is people tearing down. It's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we only got halfway through the people.
yeah.
It went so quick.
Yeah, we took a habanero pineapple in a cask
Oh.
down, I think it was Yorktoberfest. Because we were in the cask. I guess they had a series with them. They were doing, if you wanted to do a cask, they would give it to you. So you'd have to fill it up and bring it to all their beer fest. So we did that one day, and we told people, it's like, this is spicy. If you like spicy, try it. If you don't, don't. Well, I like spicy. So they would go, oh, yeah, I tasted pineapple. Holy shit. They'd be like, because the habanero would come in at the end. They'd be like, wow.
I think the first one
I would have
ever
loved
had-
to have a webcam for that one.
Yeah, I think the first one was the 0 Day Habanero Mango IPA. That was pretty good, and I brought it home. It was when we were just starting to record, and I thought so Kevin, his son. So there's 3 generations that do this recording. Ben's too busy with family and stuff. He's got young ones, but I thought he'd like it because he's into that stuff. He's like, I enjoyed it. Who else? We've had several habanero stuff, and never had one with pineapple. That's pretty
That
interesting
sounds,
combination.
interesting.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
good.
it says
It's spicy.
pineapple kolsch with the.
I've had that
habanero.
one. I've had that, but you put a habanero in it.
We actually have a habanero craft puree we can do for the summer. So if people want to spice it up, we put a pump of that in there.
Interesting.
But I love jalapeno beers, chili beers, spicy beers.
It's
They're
different.
great.
It's so different.
Yes.
Cave Creek Chili Beer. Have you ever
That's
heard of
my
that one?
all-time favorite.
Have you had the one from Back Porch? They're 91 DeVic,
No,
which
I
is
have not.
COVID-19 backwards.
Have not.
Oh,
So I was up there, and this was before I talked to you guys. It was a month or so before, and we tried it. And I always give my wife, like, she hates beer, and I always like, hey, you gotta try this. She's like, but that was it. And I gave it to Dave, thinking he was gonna have the same face, and Dave's like, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the sweetness came out, but all of a sudden that, like you said, that pepper bite. Just bam, it hits you, and it just lingered in your mouth. And that's pretty cool. I mean, you guys take your Kolsch. So basically, when you're talking about the habanero pineapple, it's your Kolsch beer that you're doing.
Correct.
Yes.
We bring the pineapple Kolsch right after the car show in April. We'll bring that out. So because the Stormers, the Lancaster Stormers, not the Barnstormers, Stormers. It's when they carry out in their craft beer deck.
I know where you're going because like the Cleveland Indians now is the
exactly.
Guardians.
Washington Reds. No.
Washington Redskins. Now it's the Commandos. Commandos. They're going commando.
Okay.
I think they ought to. They ought to run out there with their jock straps and just go commando. They may win a freaking game.
I was going to say, I think they get picked out. They're jocks all the time.
I was going to say that, but
they may win a game if they come out commando.
I stuttered on my words, wondering where that was going to go. But I just
I don't watch pro football, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of it anymore.
Because you're a Steeler fan, so you don't watch it.
I'm a Steeler fan.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
So you got something in common with him and Kevin.
Yeah, well, the whole thing about out here is that you can't get the games because of the fact
Baltimore.
that either Baltimore or Philadelphia. And I'm
What is up with that?
I don't understand. In one year, I actually said, "Oh, we're going to get the Steelers because Baltimore's not playing, and Philadelphia wasn't playing that day." And I figured they had the Cincinnati Bengals on it. I'm saying,
I remember that.
Where in the world did that come from? And I said, there's some guy up there, that makes these schedules, just laughing his ass off, just screwing with everybody.
Well, because Joe Burrow is probably more of a draw.
That doesn't matter.
Than the Steelers.
That doesn't
Doesn't matter. We're still in Pittsburgh.
You're supposed to. You're
Pennsylvania.
in the region. I mean, the
It's
NFL. The NFL has dictated who sees what.
Hey, it's the same with baseball because the other night I tried to turn a game on. It was the Phillies.
Yeah.
Blacked out.
That's always with the 76ers, too. It's always blacked out. It's like,
Who the fuck blacks it out? This is, like you were saying, this is our area.
I was going to say, we're 2 hours away. It's not like we're going to drive to every game. You can't black them all out.
If you do, if you have enough money.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, this has been awesome. I hope you guys have had fun sitting with us.
We have.
It's been a great time.
Anything you guys want to add to before we finish out here?
Well, there's one item we have been doing lately.
Okay.
It's in E-Town, actually, where, if you heard of the Star Barn.
I have heard of the Star Barn, yes.
Last year was our first year. We started doing all the Christmas dinners with them. So we sell our beer for them. We did Valentine's and Easter this year, and we'll do 4th of July event this year. So we'll have beer stations out there for that.
Oh.
Yes, that's a new thing since Cox Brewing went out of business.
I did hear that.
So we took their place out there.
So we were able to get in and took their place.
Now
it's unfortunate that they went out of business.
Right.
You always feel bad for a brewery because you understand you put your heart and soul and your life savings
everything
into it. It's everything. And you go to work every day and you're working hard because this is your livelihood.
And right now it is. It's your livelihood.
Is.
It's your family's income.
Exactly. And
that's why everybody told us we were nuts.
They did. They asked us if there was plan B, and there was no plan B.
There is no plan B.
There is.
Because when we opened, we had a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old kid.
That's when we finally opened.
Like, let's do it.
Yeah. You know what? It takes sometimes a leap of faith.
It does.
And right now, your leap of faith is paid off.
Yeah.
Your name is getting out there, and as you're expanding, you're going to be in Florida.
Hopefully, yes.
Maybe you'll be in Tampa Bay Buccaneer Stadium, and it'll be renamed Desperate Times Stadium.
Oh boy!
Wow!
Wow!
What's a dream if it isn't big, right?
Exactly. Go big or go home.
We should have gone to New Orleans when they were the Aints.
Then
it could have been Desperate Times.
Yeah, Desperate Times. That would have fit. That was the the senior, I can't remember his name.
Archie Manning.
Archie Manning.
Yeah, Archie Manning. The years
senior,
where they were
yeah,
coming to games with
games.
paper bags. You can't even come to a game with a paper bag. They don't even use paper bags anymore.
That's
Yeah.
true.
True.
Yeah,
Because if
they'll
you try and go to a game with a grocery bag, you're going to suffocate
Yes, I was
yourself.
about to say that. They'll let you put all the plastic bags on your head that you want, you know. Yeah.
Oh my! I think that's cool, man. You guys are you're conquering the Central PA and beyond. I think it's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, you guys are doing some phenomenal stuff. You guys award-winning beer that you guys are doing.
We've won, actually, it's 9 medals so far
9
between
medals.
the U.S. Beer Open and the Great American Beer Fest, and then 3 at the farm show complex.
I did see that, and that we've been trying to get in there. We were going to look at it this past year, but they want like $300 and some freaking dollars for us to come up there. I'm like,
that was a starting.
yeah, like no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do the free stuff where we're invited to come and put out, record what's going on, because that part of the farm show is becoming big. What else is up there? The PA flavor and stuff. There's all kind of things going on.
PA flavor we were doing every year, but this year it's right in the car show.
The spring car
car
show
shows.
next weekend.
And I think when you and I were talking the other
So it's like-
to get this set up we had to plan it around the car shows
Yes.
coming up. And as this is being recorded, spring is coming in. And spring and fall Carlisle, you're probably your biggest ones.
Oh yeah, for the longest duration for sure. Yes.
And then you have oh man, I can't even name all the stuff that comes up to Carlisle. Fords,
Corvette,
Chryslers,
Chrysler,
Corvettes.
trucks.
And I have a 72 Corvette that I took to a car show, not this past year, the year before. And it was my dad's Corvette. It's a 72 Stingray. I took it thinking I'll just go down here and do it. I didn't realize I'm there for the fucking duration.
Oh, there's 4,000 Corvettes out there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this was just a small one down here in Dover.
Oh, I gotcha.
Oh,
But I couldn't leave. It's hot. And everybody got there early that do the car shows. I don't do car shows. I never did one. They all had the shade spots. And a Corvette, you can't pack much. So I had a little fold-up chair that I could carry with me and a small cooler. Because you can't pack much more in that Corvette.
Right.
It's hot. And I'm like, I want to leave. Oh, you can't leave. I'm like, what do you mean I can't leave? No, you can't leave. I'm like, oh, fuck.
well, I have to be honest with you. I'd never heard, when we moved to Pennsylvania, I'd never heard of Carlisle.
Oh, you have not?
No.
Until you moved here?
I
From
never in a
Tampa.
million years thought I'd live in Pennsylvania. And never heard of the car shows either. Didn't know anything about a car show.
You used to hate car shows because of traffic. Now you see the traffic. You're
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Cha-ching, cha-ching,
Yes.
cha-ching.
When we would drive through Carlisle before we owned the brewery, and we were like, oh, the traffic.
Yeah.
And then when we were opening the brewery, I'm like, kids, every time you see one of those cars, it's cha-ching.
So what do you think of Pennsylvania since you're from Tampa?
I love it. It's a great place to raise a family.
That's good.
I mean, Carlisle, just the whole, Pennsylvania has been great for us. There are a few downfalls. I mean, I have
She'll
to
talk
admit.
about shopping.
Shopping. There's no shopping in Pennsylvania. And Cumberland
Unless you go to
County
King of
is
Prussia.
the fastest growing, largest growing
It is growing.
county
Very fast, yep.
in the state, and you have nothing. That would be my only downfall. But other than that, I mean, the kids can run around. It's just, you just feel safe.
Yeah.
And
I
they
know.
all have their friends where, I mean, they would be devastated if we moved from our neighborhood.
I know when I met my wife from Carlisle, and she had family that was in Florida, Texas. I think her brother was living in the Philippines, and and she had a sister in Minnesota. She goes, "You'll never leave." I'm like, "Nope." I'm Dover born, I'm Dover bred, and I'll be damned, I'm going to be Dover dead. So yeah, I will never leave the state of PA. I know. Yes, we bitch about the freaking crappy weather that we get, but even the few snowfalls that we've had this year,
Very few.
it was very few. The year before it was so freaking mild. and that's unlike Pennsylvania weather. It's horrible. It shouldn't be that way, but I could never leave the state. I'm sorry.
Even this year, it's like if it's going to snow on a Tuesday because we're closed anyway.
Yeah. When you own your own business, you don't realize how the weather dictates your business.
You have no idea. Especially in the in what business you guys are in, it would really dictate you guys. I'm in the automotive repair, and it dictates me. If the cars didn't get dropped off the night before and it snows in the morning, my schedule just got out the window.
Yeah.
Right.
So and we had one instance this winter where we had snow, and I called my staff. Like, look, I got a couple cars here. If you can make it in, make it in. If not, I'll make the call. I'll call them and just say we'll take care of it tomorrow. Yeah. I made it to work, so of course my name's on the building. You almost have to make it to work.
Exactly.
Yes. So I mean, those bills still come in the mail.
Yeah, that doesn't stop, does it?
It doesn't stop.
They don't take
But
a snow
coming
day.
from Florida, you would have hurricane parties. So I mean, if you had a brewery in Florida, people are going to go out and drink.
Hey, you know
And-
what? We just had an earthquake, so you guys could have had an earthquake party.
True.
At Desperate Times.
I didn't feel it. Did you feel it down here?
I didn't feel a shit.
I didn't either.
I have felt one earthquake here in Pennsylvania, and I think it was up here in Dover, or just north of Dover. Yeah, it was in Dillsburg.
Dillsburg.
I'd be like, you're sitting here, I'm like, what the hell was that? And I didn't find out it was an earthquake. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
I was working in my engineering firm when that happened, and I was in my office. I was like this. I was like, who the hell's behind me? I was like, oh, that's an earthquake.
I couldn't imagine living in a state that you dealt with that on a regular
I know.
basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, people out in California are laughing at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call that an earthquake.
Yeah, until they're falling off the edge of the U.S. and we're saying bye bye.
Yeah. Exactly.
We appreciate you guys coming in and sitting in studio with Dave and I. Unfortunately, Kevin's not here to enjoy this. We hope you guys had a good time.
It was
We
a
did.
great time. Yeah. I would do it again.
Do it again. Does that sound like a sequel?
Yeah,
We'll have to have a sequel follow.
Part 2.
DTB 2.
Part two.
there you go. Do
Part two.
yeah.
What was that? It was a
That
movie,
was something
wasn't it?
with
That was Hot Shots.
Charlie
No.
Sheen.
Hot Shots.
Charlie Sheen was
Part
in it.
Dude.
Part 2 for German.
Yeah,
No,
Zwei.
that I wasn't even going there because I know Sprechen Sie Deutsch and Scheiße. That's it. Because when I went to Germany, I learned a couple words and that was it. Scheiße was one. That's shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scheißkopf.
Well,
Oh, here,
That one.
yeah, there we go.
here we go. Because we had
Shithead.
Martin from Gunpowder
Gunpowder
Falls
Falls
that
was
that
here,
spent
yeah.
3.5 years in Germany to learn to brew.
Yeah.
And he
Nice.
gave us a whole school on the episode of German. And it was like, okay.
yeah.
She's
didn't
fluent, so
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
I would love to learn another language. I just don't have the patience.
Well, this, at your age.
Yeah, at my age, yeah.
At your age.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
No.
well, you should. Last time we went to Germany, she went to bed, but bed was right where her uncle, myself, and our youngest son were sitting out. We were trying to understand each other, and she was laughing her ass off. She's like, "You're
My-
not even close."
They have my family. They have a little bungalow out in the country, so we're sleeping in the pull-out couch in the living room because it's a tiny little bungalow, and they're out on it's a balcony because it's really in Germany property is super expensive,
Yeah.
so people. They live in apartments, but then they have property outside, out in the country. And yeah, they were talking. My uncle, had a little too much to drink. They were
Uncle's trying to
Really?
keep up with me.
imbibed.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Uncle's great because he wasn't driving. They're very strict over there
Oh, yeah.
about drinking and driving. And oh my gosh, I would just have to yell out the window. That's not what you all are. You're not even on the same page on what you're talking about. When
we
they're-
were having a good time.
that's all that mattered.
Hey, we've had a few fire pits like that, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, none of the three of us were trying to talk, and we are not. None of us are on the same.
We
We're
were
not even
not
on the same
page.
planet.
Yeah, because I think only 2 of her cousins speak English. So when we go over there, if she doesn't translate, it's like,
Yeah.
You just do the old nod, right?
ja,
And,
Yeah.
you know,
ja,
Yeah.
and raise a beer. Yeah, yeah.
eins Bier bitte.
Yes. They know as soon as we arrive, they give him a beer. It could be 8 o'clock in the morning when we're landing in Germany, and it's vacation, so he starts drinking right then and there.
Oh,
I had to trade him on that one because the first year we went there, like, it's before noon. You can't drink. I'm like,
I'm on vacation.
watch.
My mom was with us. She's like, it's fine.
How often you make the trip to Germany? I think it's awesome because I was in Germany in '89, so that's the last time I was there.
I've been there a couple of times. She went again last year with her oldest son, and he stayed over there a little while
Yeah, he
longer.
stayed longer, and then we went the year before as well.
So I was in Germersheim, which is southern Germany, with 30 kilometers. They call it 30 clicks below Kaiserslautern. So where you guys live? Where's your family from?
They're all over.
All over.
Okay. Mainly in Leipzig, and
Leipzig,
we've
we
been in
have
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt, Stuttgart, Zwickau. I mean, we go everywhere when we're
It
there.
was weird when we left Germany. We're a military unit, and we were flying civilian home. And there was a bomb scare at the airport the day before. So Polizei everywhere as we're standing in line to get on the plane. It was definitely a little frightening, to
Yes.
say the least.
Yeah.
And your military unit flying civilian, it was weird, but it was back in '89, so it was right before the wall came down. Is when I was there. It was-
Oh, that's a long time ago. Yeah.
yeah, and it was we I think that fall it was like we heard the wall was coming down. Like, I feel fortunate that I was at least able to see some of that, in Berlin and down at the Czech border and stuff. It was pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
it
Yeah,
is.
'cause her family was in East Germany.
Yeah, half of my family got stuck in East Germany and the other in West Germany.
Wow.
So I
So
would.
you could tell a whole story about that.
Oh, we could have several segments on that one.
Sounds like we need a part 2.
Yeah, you may have to.
That's why.
Yeah, I was fortunate. You were talking about translating for Matt, and it was just I had the opportunity to be a corporate translator. Yeah, I back when I was working for a company, we had what was called an international training center, and in an international training center we had students from all over the world. Well, in my area, we had a student from French Canada, French-speaking Canada, and one from Brazil, and they were talking to each other in English, and they had no idea. They were trying to talk to each other in English. So I was able to sit there and listen to the guy from Brazil speak to me in English, and I turned around and speak to the guy from Canada in English, and he understood me, but he couldn't understand the guy from Brazil because of the accent. It was so thick.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent that entire week translating for these two guys
In English.
in English.
English to English.
English to English translation.
And when you translate, when we're sitting around, it's drunkenese.
Drunkenese. That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, I do
Drunkenese.
too. That's an irony. When I graduated from college originally, I wanted to work for the UN and be a translator.
Oh.
That's awesome.
But
That would
that's
be-
not how it turned out. I became a flight attendant.
Flight attendant.
But
yeah.
you were the German.
You know what?
But
You
I
know,
was
speaker.
the German speaker on the flight.
You were on the plane to get to that job. You just never got off.
I never got off. I just flew to Germany all the time.
I think it's cool. You've had your paths were different, and look where you're at. I think your story is great. What you guys have accomplished so far is phenomenal. Award-winning beers that you keep, hopefully, winning some more with.
Hopefully, yes.
The business is growing, expanding. You're getting your name out, not just here in Central PA, but you're broadening that horizon as well. I think it's great. We've had a great time with you guys, and we wish you guys nothing but the best going forward.
Thank
Yeah, we
you.
appreciate being here.
Yeah.
Although before we get out of here, we do have another beer sitting here that we're going to cheers out with. So Is this an award-winning beer?
This is not yet, but I think we did submit it to the World Beer Cup.
Not yet. He's
yet.
confident.
So this is your
Irish style red.
So this is your Irish red.
This is one of my always favorite one, nice and clear.
So
nice red.
this is one of my favorite styles too, and this is one I just brewed as we're recording this. I wish I could get the red color. I'm hoping I get this red color this time. Last time it kind of got that dark as it sat in the keg. The longer it sat, it did get a little darker, but when I kegged it, it was kind of light.
Mm-hmm. Did you just add some red food coloring?
I kind of peed in it.
Might want to get that checked out.
Yeah. it was, the profile was there, but I don't know. So I upped it. We'll see what this batch comes out with. But look, we've had a great time, Matt and Sue. Susan,
thank you.
We enjoyed this conversation. We hope you guys did too. Make sure you check out Desperate Times Brewery in Carlisle. I have all the information up here with their social media, their website above us. Above us. So check them out in Carlisle. If you get to any of the car shows, anything out there in Carlisle, check out Desperate Times because you guys will have a tent on the fairground site.
Two of them.
Two of them?
Two of them.
Mm-hmm. And the brewery will be open as well.
And the brewery.
Oh.
And you can walk back and forth from the brewery to the car show.
With your beer.
Hopefully
With your
walk,
beer.
not stumble.
Yeah.
So we appreciate this. If you're out there, let's raise a glass with Matt and Susan Dunn from Desperate Times Brewery and the CPP, and let's all be bonded by beer. Cheers.
Prost.